Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of the Real Estate Confidant here on Lake Dawson TV. I'm your host, Mike Razor, and I'm the Real Estate Confidant. If you do not have our podcast, we have a podcast on Apple iTunes, on Google Play, on Spotify, on Anchor Podcast, and Podbean, and so on and so forth. We also have the Instagram, MIKE_A_RAYSOR. That's MIKE_A_RAYSOR, where I post new news, new headlines, free information, freebies, and you name it. Okay? So, glad you were able to join us today, ladies and gentlemen. And it is Hump Day. It's a Wednesday, ladies and gentlemen. So, if you have not had the opportunity to, please go to the podcast now. Follow YouTube, like, and subscribe, and you'll be entered into the monthly raffle for $100. Okay, this is for individuals who have just passed their real estate exam and are in need of new attire, new wardrobe. Funds are kind of low. You have to get your business cards, etc., etc. We also have another raffle going on for individuals who just passed their real estate exam. We have 3 pairs of dress socks, amazing vintage type of socks, and we're not talking about the inexpensive kind. We're talking about a good pair of socks, okay? So we'll go ahead and send that to you. We'll mail that to you. You have to just email us. Email my personal email, michaelrazor1@gmail.com, MICHAELRAYSOR, the number 1@gmail.com, and send a picture of your passing grade from the state. It's not going to give the actual grade, but it's going to say pass on it once you actually pass, okay? And then I'll choose the first one that sends it. Hey, all right? All right, so if you listen to today's podcast, we talked about 4 greenhouses, 1 red hotel, and how to, the strategy in how to purchase your first 4 investment properties to get to that 1 green hotel, and different aspects of purchasing, starting with the FHA requirements, rules, etc., etc., all the way down to strategizing that FHA, building up to 20 units in a storefront for you in your portfolio, which gives you, if it's $1,000 a unit, gives you $20,000 a month, not including expenses, obviously. But you'll have an ROI of $20,000, and not including your 9 to 5. Okay, so go to the podcast, listen in. If you have Spotify, if you have Android, you could do Google Play. If you have Apple, you do iTunes. You can follow, listen, and it'll help you out. Okay. What else? Also, if you haven't picked up my book yet, here we go. The 90-Day Blitz for the newbie real estate professional. Sorry, here I go. My name, my little picture in the back. It's a short read, but it has valuable information, and it also has my information, my email, ways to contact me, my social media, etc., etc. This way you'll be able to reach out, okay? Currently, I'm giving this away for free on Amazon.com. Kindle is $0. It's straight download. And if you purchase it, I think it's on paperback, like this copy, it is $3.99. All right? So you have the opportunity to purchase this there, okay? All right, so let's get into it. So 4 greenhouses, 1 red hotel. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're a newbie real estate professional and you are interested in purchasing your first property, or you're working with clients who are interested in purchasing their first property, you have to know the detailed information for you to get started, okay? This is after you already did your due diligence, you looked up numbers and what have you. So the strategy is this. First property you get several different ones. You can get 4 one-unit properties, 4 single-family homes, or you can get 4 multifamily homes up until the bank cuts you off. It's usually a max of 4, but under those 4 properties, you could have up to 4 units in one property plus a storefront, okay? So that's 4, 8, 12, 16 plus the 4 storefronts, okay? 20, which equals to 20. So if you decide that you want to start out with a foreclosure or just a duplex where you live in one unit, rent out the other unit, you could start off with an FHA loan with that, and then renovate the floor that you live on while the other individual lives in the other unit and is paying for the mortgage, etc., etc. Okay? This is going to give you the opportunity to leverage. Your mortgage is being paid, your credit score is being increased, and at the same time, your equity in the property is growing. You stay in that property for 2 years under FHA guidelines, unless an emergency situation happens, there's an issue in a neighborhood, something to where you have to move out. But once you move out, you go ahead and rent that second unit out, and now you have 2 incomes coming in. You have income in your pocket, income going to the mortgage, and then you go and you purchase your single family under FHA again. Okay, now you can prove to FHA that you don't have a place to live. The property that you own right now is a duplex. It has been rented. Both units are occupied. You could show that to them on paperwork. You could also show the payments, rent payments that are being made on those units to prove that. And then you'll be eligible for the FHA under single family or multifamily, however you want to do it again. Some people, they go for the single family home. It's lower in price. You can move into that new property with the equity that you have for that other property. And you could go ahead and redevelop that property. It could be a fix and flip. It could also be a live-in property where you make the home yours. You do it up. You know, like on an HGTV show, a DIY show. Literally to the point where it looks like something you've seen in your dreams. You've renovated it, you have contractors working with you, etc., etc. Maybe you even want to get a renovation loan that'll help you out if you have the equity, if you have the funds, you don't really need a renovation loan. You could do it cash. It's up to you. Okay? Do the renovations. You and your family could live there while you have the multifamily, etc., etc., and you're still paying 3.5% down. Okay, if you do HomePath, it doesn't matter how many properties you purchase. You do HomePath, whether it's an investor or as a first-time home buyer, the down payment, I believe, is 5% for HomePath. Okay, you have choices. Now I'm going quick, just to kind of, if you want to hear the whole show a little slower, you can listen to the podcast, but it's okay. Anyway, so that's one strategy. You could do that, and then when you decide to sell that single family property, you'll still have the duplex. You sell a single family property for the equity, and maybe you purchased it at $100,000. You did renovations on it. Now the property is worth $250,000, and now you sold it. You lived in it for a while, and you sold it, and now you got your $250,000 cash. Obviously you need to pay your taxes on it unless you're doing a 1031 exchange, or something where you could postpone capital gains taxes on that property being sold to you. Then you'll take that money and you'll go ahead and either reinvest it in a new property or do a development property where it's just vacant land and now you're rebuilding on that land for a brand new multifamily and so on and so forth. Or what you could do is you could go ahead and you could start off with the 2-family. use the leverage for the 2-family if you get a good deal on it. Purchase a second property as a multifamily, and so on and so forth. So you got 4 single families, you have 4 duplexes, you have 4 quads, and you have 4 tris, and that's 4 1, 2, and 3, and 4 unit properties, not including the storefronts. You could include the storefronts as well. So, and understand what I mean by that is this: you could, like I said before, you could have up to 4 properties under your belt at $1,000 a unit, plus the storefront being charged $1,000 a month for their rent, which will come out to $20,000 a month. But then obviously you still have to do your calculations, your PITI, principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. If you have PMI, private mortgage insurance, if you have points added on to the loan, so you know, and then you have capital expenditures, you have management costs if you're not managing it yourself. What else? You have sewage, water, etc., etc. But there's different ways for you to maneuver with the calculations. Like I said before, you could go to biggerpockets.com/calc, CALC, and you can use their calculator for business purposes or personal, just to do calculations on real estate that you find that you're interested in. Make sure you understand what the tax rate is in that particular county, because it varies. Okay, I did a walkthrough in New Jersey at one point, in literally one county over, the taxes was $10,000, as opposed to the county next to it, which was around $5,000 and change. So you have to understand the calculations. There's a lot of people that I've spoken to, that I've met, that really don't trust real estate anymore because they've made bad decisions in the past. They don't know. They just feel like regardless of what decision they make, it's going to put them in a bad position. No, it's about knowledge. It's about working with what you have. You can't just purchase any property without doing the numbers, ladies and gentlemen. You can't go ahead and say and go through with emotions and say, oh, I love this place, this is what I want to purchase, and you end up purchasing a property that's around $300,000 to $500,000 in an amazing neighborhood with high tax rate, and you're wondering why your job doesn't fit the criteria for you to pay the mortgage after a certain amount of time. That means you didn't do your numbers right, number one. Number two, you just went off of emotions. Of course, the house is beautiful. Yes, the house is beautiful. Someone else came in, contracted, purchased the property probably for $1 or $100 or $50,000, knowing that the worth of the property at the time was around $200,000 or $300,000, and they did the renovation, around $25,000, $30,000 renovation, and made it beautiful for you. You looked at it, saw the neighborhood was amazing, saw the property was amazing, and went and paid for that property at $300,000, not realizing that you purchased the property at a price where it's going to take you a very long time to really see equity. And not only that, your plan wasn't to rent the property out, it was actually for you to live in it. So even if you did FHA for that property, and you still have PMI under that FHA because you only paid 3.5% or 3% down, now you don't plan on leaving that property. You know, I mean, like, think about it. Like, there's people I know that have mortgage issues right now. It's hard for them to pay. Maybe a family member passed away, something happened, but you're not, because it's like a family heirloom, you're not willing to sell it. You're not willing to leave. You're going to have to make a decision. My suggestion is move out, move into a rental, and rent that property out for a little over what the mortgage is, to a person that actually can afford that mortgage. I mean, that rent that high in the beautiful neighborhood that you live. Somebody wants to live there, especially if the interior is perfect, etc., etc. You know, even if you're only making $10, $20, $30, $40 a month return, you're still paying off whatever taxes that, if you have it free and clear, whatever taxes is left over, etc., etc. So, like, one lady told me that she has a property free and clear, but the taxes in the neighborhood are so high that it's as if she's paying a mortgage for it. I mean, it's as if she's paying rent for it. which to me tells me that the properties in the neighborhood are actually renting for probably double what the taxes are in that neighborhood. She probably isn't aware of that. And I did reach out to her. She hasn't gotten back to me about it. But 9 times out of 10, if she moves out into a different neighborhood and rents a property just temporarily and moves somebody into the property that she fully owns and only pays taxes on, right? She could double the amount that she's paying on taxes. So let's say her taxes is around $900, $1,000, maybe even $1,200 a month. Because she said that where she lives, the taxes is astronomical. And she said she lived in a big city, which tells me that the rents, just like in New York, the rents are astronomical. And she lives in a 3-bedroom or even a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom. She would be able to rent that property out if the taxes are $1,100 or $1,040 or 9 something or 8 something a month. She could go ahead and rent that property for about probably $2,000, $2,500, $2,300, just because it has 2 bathrooms, just because it has 2 bedrooms and a basement and a backyard. She probably doesn't know that, and now when she gets this information, hopefully she watches the video, she'll see that she'll have the capability to rent the property out, get income from that while she still works her 9 to 5, and she'll be relieved of the mortgage until she's ready to purchase the next property in the next county or what have you. Okay, I kind of went off tangent, but I felt that was important for people to know. Okay, long story short, ladies and gentlemen, start off simple. Start off with a 2-unit, live in 1 unit, rent the other one. Look up Section 8 laws if you're not afraid to work to rent out to low-income housing, etc., etc. You'll be paid a check from the government, and you'll also be paid from the renter as well. Some people don't want to do that. Some people would rather just be a normal tenant who has a full-time job, who makes $70,000, $80,000 a year, etc., etc. Okay, so it's up to you. You make the decision. Okay, do your due diligence. So remember, 1 unit, 2 unit, 3 unit, 4 unit. I know some of you have been dreaming about having a storefront. Now think about it this way. You have a multi-unit, whether it's a 2 to 4 unit, and you have a storefront in the front. You live in 1 unit, you rent out the other 3 units, and you have a storefront that's right in front that you could either rent out or you could turn into a coffee shop, a deli, a barber shop, whatever it is that you need or think that the neighborhood needs. You could go ahead and rent that space out, or you could open up a morning, coffee shop where they serve. It's open from maybe 4 a.m. to 7 a.m. or 8 a.m. or something like that, 9 a.m. And they serve breakfast. They serve, eggs. They serve coffee, etc., etc. Maybe you don't want to sell food. Maybe you just want to sell newspapers, coffee, and what's it called? The lotto, and people will come to you because you're the closer to them. Some people will come to you because you're right across the street, as opposed to having to go all the way down the block, 3-4 blocks to the supermarket. Okay? So understand, you have opportunities. We all have opportunities. And understand that you have options for you and your family to grow. This is your time. Some of you guys are not doing well, but we're going to get you out of the mud. This is the time for you to get out of the mud, ladies and gentlemen. One step at a time. We'll get you there. It doesn't matter the age. Okay? Those individuals who are younger, those individuals who have clean credit, it's a perfect time. Okay? Get those trade lines up. $5, $10, $15, $20,000 trade lines. And then go ahead and apply for your own credit card. That way you could use that as a collateral for your first purchase. Come on, ladies and gentlemen, we have the opportunity, okay? So, like I said before, go pick this book up, The 90-Day Blitz for the Newbie Real Estate Professional. Go pick it up, read it. I'm doing my second book now, okay? I may include it in this one and just merge it, and it just is a longer book. I may actually sell a separate one. It just depends. Me, I like to get straight to the point with my books. This is why the book isn't that big. But I noticed that a lot of people prefer fluff. They don't know that they prefer fluff, but that's what they prefer. Mm-hmm. All right. So understand once again: 4 greenhouses, 1 red hotel. When you get your 4 properties, whether it's 4 single-family homes or 4 multi-family homes in a storefront, you have a choice. You could take the properties, you could keep the properties in a portfolio, leverage them, and use the equity out of all of them. Excuse me. 1 second. Use the equity out of all of them, right? And purchase your building, right? Now, when you take the equity out, refinancing, if you refinance to lower your monthly cost, if you still have a leftover mortgage, you could do that, lower your monthly cost, or you could refinance and take the money out to purchase your next investment property, which smart individuals do. You could go ahead and purchase that 25-unit building now. You can purchase that 15-unit building now. Now everything is in one place instead of separate homes. Okay, so now not only do you have this 15-unit property, but you also have your 20-unit homes as well. All right, and all of those are bringing in a cash flow for you. Now you could do that, or you could sell all 4 homes in a bundle, all the way up to the 20 units. And then go ahead and purchase a bigger hotel or bigger residential property, commercial property, etc. With a storefront or no storefront, 26 units, 30 units, 35, 40 units. And now you are a landlord. You have people managing it, or you might want to start your own management company. And 2 podcasts before this, or 2 YouTube channel shows, I talked about leveraging with LLCs and S corporations, separating your money from the real estate, putting land trust and insurance policies on those properties as well. Okay, you also could put the portfolio in a nonprofit trust, family trust, where when you pass away, you could go ahead and pass that along to your family. You also just put it in your will as well. Okay. It's all up to you. All right. So you all have options. This is not an easy process, but it's not that difficult either. Okay. There are a lot of people that I know that are doing very well, that are working hard, that are succeeding, that are living their dream. There's a couple that I know that's traveling the world. There's another couple that I know that just opened a nonprofit organization. So it just depends. All right. You have the opportunity to change the world, to change a neighborhood. Maybe you want to go to the neighborhood you grew up in and purchase a property there. Now you done purchased the property in the neighborhood you grew up in. Everybody know who you are. And now people are coming to your store just because they know you. Mike, I'm coming to you. I'm not going down a block. I don't even like their sandwiches. I like yours. You make it the way I like it, or 4 a.m. Hey, Mike, I like you because you have the New York Times or the Wall Street Journal, because we're friends. We grew up together. Yeah. They don't have to know that you own the building. They don't have to know that you own the properties on a block. You might want to purchase all the properties on that block that you grew up on. Let your mother or your family, your father, or what have you, stay in one of the units free and clear. Now they're not paying rent. They're living rent free, going to work, doing whatever they have to do. And you're still surviving. You're still striving. You're still succeeding. There Think about how many people that own these stores in your neighborhood, that own these buildings in your neighborhood, that are landlords in your neighborhood, that act as if they're just a regular tenant just like you, or that they're just paying regular rent just like you are. And the reality is they took money from the government or a loan out from a bank and they purchased the property that you live in. Got y'all thinking now. So if you all are interested in working on your credit, there are various companies that help you out, that put trade lines on your credit report. zblackcard.com/PTCE is one company that does it. They also help you with your credit. DSXdesign.com is another option for you. DSXdesign.com. You can check them out. Also, too, LynnRichardson.com. She's usually on the Steve Harvey show and some other places. So she'll, I think in May, like there's a conference that she'll be at in Virginia and Norfolk. You might want to check that out. Who else? We have a meetup group. Myself and another young lady have a meetup group on meetup.com called Investors of Color. She created it. I just hopped on board to help her out and whatnot. What else? Then you have jmorrisonacademy.com, WeManagementServices.com. We have me, the Real Estate Confidant. We do one-on-one sessions to help you all out. Oh man, it's so many. It's so many, you know. So like I said before, like and subscribe to YouTube channel Lake Dawson TV. Go to Instagram. Check out my Instagram. Subscribe and follow. Follow me on my podcast. And go to Amazon. Get the book. Get the book. It's free basically. All you paying is shipping. Come on now. Get the book. Trust me. Trust me. And then if you have questions, like I said, send me an email. All right? So this is Mike Razor. I'm the Real Estate Confidant, and I'll be talking to you later. Have a good day.